What's up, fellow engineers? Dr. McKay here, and welcome back to my channel. We have another showcase video for mod.io. This time we have the one, the only USS Voyager from Star Trek Voyager. This is a small grid build, and I think it's definitely up there as one of my favorite builds I've built so far, especially what I put inside. So before we get started, if you enjoy the content and my builds, feel free to hit that like button. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on the build, and don't forget to subscribe to help support the channel if you already haven't. So today's video, as I said, is going to be a showcase for mod.io of the Voyager Star Trek ship. We're going to take a quick look on the outside, then we're going to go through the inside. Now, with it being a small grid ship, it's quite compact and it's more nimble than the large grid counterparts. Now, I do have a large grid Voyager over there that I'm currently building, which I'll showcase a little bit of at the end, but this is about the small grid Voyager. So this is the outside. This is obviously the top of the source section. We have a bunch of autocannons on the phaser array, and then we have some artillery cannons at the back just to give it some extra oomph in combat. Now we do have 8 on the top, and we do have 8 on the bottom, so we have quite a wide range of attack power on this Intrepid class ship. We also have some rocket pods on the deflector dish here to represent the photon torpedo launchers on Voyager. Obviously we have our deflector dish, which was quite a tricky one to design because it's like angled on the end like the Voyager, not to mention it glows, and I think I did a good job on the deflector dish, but I went through about 5 different designs before I decided on this particular one. But please leave your thoughts on what you think of the deflector dish in the comments. So with that, we basically got our usual flashing red and green lights on the side of the saucer and the nacelles. There's not much else here on the saucer. It's just a like elongated oval in a type of shape, which I think I captured quite well. Yeah, using the blocks we have in Space Engineers. Next, obviously the neck, which isn't that much in an Intrepid class. It kind of sinks into the engineering section. Now we have the nacelles. Now I do like these nacelles. I might continue this kind of design going forward in my next Star Trek builds, but we basically got like a couple lights in here just for the glow of the bussards on each side, and then we have our, I still don't know what it's called, but our blue impulse looking like on the nacelles, which I think did a pretty good job. Now in the nacelles we have a majority of our engines, our forward, reverse, up, down and side engines. They're all ion, so this is a fully ion build. I was gonna do a I was gonna build it with landing gear and hydro with atmospheric engines, so it can land on like planets, but I kind of like ran out of space in like where I was going to put the hydro, so it was either going to be all hydro, which then I need to add a ton of hydrogen tanks, or leave it completely ion, and then I'll leave it up to you guys to refit for Atmo if you wanted to. Yeah, because you're more than welcome to refit. And obviously at the rear we have a rocket pod or rocket launcher to simulate a rear photon torpedo launcher. But like I said, the nacelles are the same each side, but I do like this design. I think I prefer this design of lighting over the Galaxy class that I built. And that's basically it with the outside. We do have a cargo connector on the rear on the bottom there. Apart from that, I think I've captured the look of Voyager pretty well. Like I said, it's probably one of my favourite builds coming off my line of work here. Yeah, because I've just done like the Galaxy class and the Strange New Worlds Constitution class. This has got to be one of my favourites. So now we're going to take a little peek inside. Now obviously we don't have artificial gravity because this is a vanilla build. But you could probably add artificial gravity if you want. So we have an airlock. Now for once, the entire ship is airtight. So thank Clang for that. as we come in here, this is meant to be like the hangar bay, but we have no shuttlecraft because we're in a small grid ship. So yeah, we just got a bunch of signage to say that's the airlock. If I shut this door a minute. Shut the door. Alright. We just got a little plaque here. USS Voyager, NCC 746565, which is the registration of Voyager in the show. Intrepid class, which is the make of the ship. It's a science vessel. That's kind of like the job role. And obviously it's commissioned on today's date in like the real world. Small grid built by me. And obviously there's another one of these in the captain's quarters or the captain's ready room. So as we come along the whole section, we have two areas. We got the cargo bay down in here, which we have 3 large cargo boxes hidden behind this wall. You can access via these, whatever they're called, like hatches. We've got a bunch of, like, which I didn't realize were in small grid, but we got a bunch of small grid storage barrels that you can access via the top, and a bunch of weapons racks as well. So this is essentially the storage area where you'd store all your stuff. Next we have engineering, which I built the basically like the warp core. It's quite bland because there's not a lot of like interior decoration stuff you can get for small grid, which please Keen add a bunch of stuff for small grid for internal decoration, because I just want it. We got obviously LCD screens, a message for anybody who downloads my ship, our warp core, which is a bunch of reactors and lights, a place for a small grid jump drive for those modders out there, and obviously a couple cargo boxes as well, so you can fill them up with uranium and other things that you want. Yeah, so that's basically the engineering. Pretty simple. Next we're going to go up through the neck and into the saucer section. Don't worry, there's arrows everywhere to help guide you. But it's pretty straightforward because it's a small grid ship. So we're going to check over here to the briefing room, where we have a table with a bunch of chairs. This is where like the gang would get together, you know, Captain Janeway, Neelix, Tuvok, Chakotay, Kim, Paris, B'Elanna, the Doctor when he gets his emitter later on. But we have obviously an LCD screen, and we got like a little computer there. It says briefing room, ship status green, weapons green, engines green, life support green, and crew morale green. Even though there's no crew. There is no crew until you crew it. But that's basically the briefing room. Next, I'm going to take you to probably one of the best bits I've put on the ship so far, the medical bay. So the medical bay is down for is in the front of the saucer section. Obviously I've got like a couple beds and some monitors, and a couple cryopods. But like my favorite thing I've done is I got a little AI block or a emoji block, and I got a little hologram text here that says, "Please state the nature of the medical emergency to simulate, you know, the Doctor on Voyager." And we got like a little plush there as well. I just had the idea to do it, and I was like, that's brilliant. So I hope you all enjoyed that little like Easter egg there. And obviously we have our med bay there. So yeah, so that's the med bay. I'm pretty like chuffed with that, to be fair. Like I said, I just come up with it, and I was like, I have to put it in. And next we're going to check out the bridge, and this is like the final part of the ship, which is here, the bridge. So we have 2 accesses to the bridge. We've got this door and that door. The only thing about not having gravity, you walk up the walls, don't you? So when we're on the bridge, we come to the left side, we have operations. This is where Harry Kim would basically work. And then over on the right side, we have tactical. This is where Tuvok would be. And a bunch of screens in the back there. As you come down, this bridge only has 2 seats. We have obviously the captain's chair, first officer chair, and then a couple like computer panels each side of the chair. Then we have the one helm, which is quite unique because most ships either have like 2 seats next to each other. But yeah, we got the helm here, and it's basically where Tom Paris would be on a sliding chair with a big, large control panel for flying the ship. So I kind of tried to simulate that with the LCD screens here. And then obviously our like viewer, which tried to do a starfield, so hopefully it looks like it's outside. And that's basically the bridge, and this is the main cockpit as well, so it's the only cockpit that allows you to fly the ship. And lastly but not least, we have the ready room. Now trying to fit all this on this build was tricky, but I managed to get it to work, and like I said, all airtight. So as we come in, we got a plaque again, and this is just the ready room. So it's just where the captain would speak to the officers, and obviously it's the captain's chair. But I got a little Easter egg there. Now obviously I don't want you to read it. I don't want to read it on the YouTube video. But if you're interested in reading what that says, a bit of canon for the show. If you like Star Trek Voyager, download the build and read that. Yeah, it's pretty decent. I tried my best, so I hope you approve. If you do, drop a like on this video. Hey, how's that sound? Yeah. So yeah, this is Voyager small grid. I hope you will enjoy the build. We're just going to take a little flight though over to my large grid to show you the progress on that before we end the video. So and show you how maneuverable the ship is. So it's not bad for speed. It gets up there, but obviously with mods you can obviously increase the speed of the ship. So obviously the ship that's circled in green, that's my large grid Voyager. And I've got a bunch of my other ships to the left there. I got my Galaxy class, my Constitution class, and my NX-02 refit. Make sure I don't hit nothing. Obviously my next small grid build will be the Defiant from Deep Space Nine. That'll be my next one. But I do want to try and get Voyager here, the big one, done for you guys, so you can download that. It's just hard. The outside and basically the internal workings of Voyager is done. It's just the inside is so big. I hate having to fill out the big interior works of a large grid ship. That's why I kind of like building small grid, because there's not a lot and you can make small corridors and stuff. So now we're parked up. I'll take you outside. Oop. So yeah, so that was my previous like try with nacelles, and I thought, yeah, it's all right. But then I quite like that, to be fair. So let me know in the comments what you prefer: the strip of blue lights with the blue paint next to it, or the blue paint with the corner lights just to give it a bit of glow. Because I don't know, I quite like Voyager's nacelles. Yeah, and obviously the nacelles I use on these ships are essentially just the engines. So I use the engines as the blue because they're quite small. Yeah, so let me know what you prefer. If you prefer the engines to be the blue in the nacelles, or actual lighting like I've got over here. Yeah, but that's basically the size compared to my Galaxy class. I know it's not to scale, but it's nice to have multiple ships in one game, I suppose. So as you can see, my big Voyager is essentially the same shape and design and color palette as the little one. I think I did pretty well to match the small grid to the large grid, but it does kind of help to that, I've already built it once, so I can build it again in little grid. But yeah, just to quickly show you the inside of Voyager here. This is why I'm having trouble. This is the hangar. What I will try and build a small grid Delta Flyer to fit in here. At least I hope it'll fit in here. But that's the hangar. But look at all this empty space. Like, apart from like engineering, med bay, like the galley, and a couple crew quarters, I don't know what else to put in here. Yeah, I could leave a bunch of empty space and just do corridors to the main places. And obviously this is the saucer. Like, I got one room. I got one crew quarters. Here, look. There's like a family room for like 3 people. So like, yeah, for kids and family, or just general crew quarter. But like, it's like so big. I was just like, I lose the will sometimes to continue the large grid sometimes because of the sheer scope of the internal workings. And obviously the bridge has got to be reworked, but generally that was my go with it. And then I got a ready room here for the same as it is on the little ship. Because in Voyager blueprints, you got the bridge, the ready room on the right, the briefing room at the back, the briefing room on the left, and then you got turbo lift on the back, like left here, and then it goes off into some like quarters, and there's like a little what you got, cafeteria on the first deck. It's quite a strange blueprint. I'm like, okay, but yeah, but you can see, and I got the briefing room here, which I'm thinking about changing and putting on the other side because it's quite large. You don't need that many. Yeah. So yeah, that's my progress of that. So I hope you are enjoying my builds and anticipating the large grid ship. Also, let me know which you prefer, my large grid or small grid, because I don't really have a lot of people telling me what they prefer. They just tell me they like my ships. But I prefer to build in small grid. So if you have any ship requests, most of the time I'll build them in small grid first. But please, if you do have a ship request, feel free to let me know your specifications on what you want. So tell me that you want this ship in this particular size, your large grid or small grid. Make it like, you know, good weapons, hydro, hydro or ion. You know, be specific on what you want, and I'll do my best to try and create it for you guys. All that said though, I hope you enjoyed this video and just a rundown of my build so far. I hope you stay tuned for the next one. I've been Dr. MK. If you've enjoyed this content though, feel free to hit that like button. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on my work. And don't forget to subscribe and help support the channel if you already haven't. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers and I'm getting so close. Let's try and hit 1,000 in 2024. But with that said though, I'm Dr. MK. Thank you all for watching this showcase of the USS Voyager small grid. And until the next video, I'll catch you all then. Cheers and goodbye. Live long and prosper.